This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, where we feature the stories of local legends in the Fredericksburg area. Today, we'll be hearing from local legend Christine Kovacs. She is the owner of Olde Towne Carriages. Christine, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on today. So let's share with the listeners first all about your business.
Okay, so Olde Towne Carriages is what we call full service carriage company. So we do several different things. We're in the city of Fredericksburg doing historical rides. So that would be Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays during the day. And then we also have chartered private rides. So if someone has an anniversary or a birthday party, or they just want to have a little romantic moment with their significant other, they can charter the carriage and we'll take them through the most beautiful parts of Fredericksburg. And then we also do wedding services where we can bring the bride to the venue or away from the venue. And then the most fun thing that we do is we do Baraat services, which is a South Asian service to a groom who's getting ready to marry. So he rides his white horse to his bride. And it's a procession, and there's a lot of drums, a DJ, a lot of noise, and it's always a lot of fun.
That sounds like so much fun. So do you coordinate all of the whole thing, like the music, all of that?
No, we go through certain wedding planners that we've gotten to know really well in the last 15 years. So, but a lot of times you have to explain to the groom and his family what exactly is supposed to happen, because even though they're from India or their parents are from India, they really don't know the whole real tradition of the Baraat. So they kind of get it backwards sometimes, and you got to kind of explain, no, you guys go first after the DJ and after the drummer, and then I'm at the end. And so the groom is on the horse so he can see everything that's going on. So it's a lot of fun for them too.
I love that. I need to witness one.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. So tell us about your background and what led you to starting this business.
Well, I've always been a horsewoman. I've been riding since I was 9. I went to college, to Averitt College, and I got my degree in business administration and equine science. So I have done about everything you can think of in the horse world, taught, rode, competed. And then I just got interested. I actually replied to an ad for a carriage driver downtown Fredericksburg, and that's how I got into it. I didn't really like it at first, to be honest with you, because I didn't like giving the tour part of it. I was like not into history at that point in my life. And then years later, I applied again for another company that was doing it. And they said, no, we don't want you. And I'm like, what? And they said, I got a son that can drive. So they hired my son, and he worked for them for 6 years. And then the company became available to buy. And me and my son decided it would be a great avenue for him in case when he got out of college, he didn't have a career. When you get out of college, it's hard to find a job. It's something he could have done until he found his career. So we bought it, and then he worked through it through college, and then he decided he wanted to go different ways. And guess who got the carriage company? Me. I got it.
I love it. Very interesting story there. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, are there any myths or misconceptions that you hear about your industry?
Yes, a lot. So people will walk up to the carriage and they'll see my horse, and her head is hanging a little bit straight out from her withers, so her back and her ears are level. And I'll go, oh my gosh, she's so tired. I'm like, no, she's not tired. She's actually very comfortable. She's resting. And then I go, or people ask, why is her foot cocked like that? Is she hurt? I'm like, no, that's also a sign that she's very comfortable and she's resting. I mean, our tree that my horses sit under is like their favorite place in the whole world, because there's no flies bothering them. They don't have to compete with the barn, with the lean-to out in the pasture. So that's their own little spot that they're really comfortable. And another myth is that it's cruel. And it's really not, because the way that the technology in the horse industry is gone, everything you put on the horse is suited for their comfort. And even our carriage is like fiberglass, so it's super light for them to pull. And they're just like any other animal or person. They need stimulant. You don't want to keep them out in a 7-acre lot. They get bored. And when they get bored, believe me, they get destructive, and they'll escape, and they'll try every little thing that they can to find something to do. So taking them out to the street, they really enjoy it.
Nice. Thank you for dispelling those myths for us. So when you are not busy with your business, what are you doing for fun?
That's a hard question, because being in the horse business, it's like even when you're not on the street, you're taking care of the horses. So you really don't get a day off per se. Even if you plan a trip, you still got to go out to the barn and clean it and feed the horses before you go. But what I do for business, for fun, is I garden, and then I do a lot of horse sports. So I go do hunter paces, which are kind of like a mock fox hunt, but with no fox, so no animals are hurt. And then just trail riding. And trail riding is really good. It's a real good way to clear your mind and be out in nature. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what I do.
It does sound very therapeutic.
Yeah, my horses love it too. So it's therapeutic for them too.
Nice, nice. So can you describe a hardship or a challenge that you have overcome that you can now say you're stronger for it?
Well, believe it or not, the year that I started the carriage company with my son, I came down with breast cancer. And it runs in my family. I guess it's genetic. And so it was really hard to start the company and deal with the breast cancer. But I am the most persistent and determined person in the whole world. So I just worked through it. And I think it's pretty much made me pretty fearless. If I have an idea, I just go for it, because what is the worst thing that could happen? That's my I guess my saying is, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what a great example for your son to see that fearlessness in you.
Yeah, he had a hard time dealing with it at first, but yeah, he knows how strong I am. And sometimes, though, you don't always want to be strong. You want to have to be able to lean on people. So, but I'm very private, and I kind of internalize stuff. So, but I just don't let things get me down. If I think I want to do something, I just go for it.
Mm-hmm. It's a great lesson.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. What is something that you want the listeners to know about your business?
It's hard work. So sometimes, people, they'll call and they'll want a ride, and they want it right now, but they don't realize that our horses aren't downtown and that we have a schedule. So our schedule's there for a reason, because we have to haul the horse in, then harness it and clean the carriage. So it's not a spontaneous thing. So that's why it's important for people to book our rides in advance. It doesn't have to be like weeks in advance, but maybe like a day in advance, or at least in the morning. So it gives us the opportunity to come out and be our best. We used to just go out and sit out there, but we don't anymore. It's basically by appointment. But if I do have more than one appointment, we'll just sit out there and pick up walk-ups. And it's a very pleasant kind of thing to do, very laid back. So if you're been stressed out or anything, getting on a carriage and listening to the hoof beats, it's just so relaxing. Like with people who bring kids, I always said there's two things going to happen. Your kid is going to be tired of being confined in the carriage, or they're just going to go to sleep because it's that pleasurable. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if the listeners want to book a session with you or get in touch with you, where's the best place for them to find you?
We do have the webpage, which is www.oldetowne.carriages.com, and they can just book their rides straight on the on the webpage. There's several different types of rides, so you just got to kind of look around and see what best suits you. They can call us. We are really busy, so I leave on the voicemail to text us. Don't ever be afraid to text us. I'll get back to you right away. Actually, texting is easier than answering voicemails. But and then if they have a wedding or a special event, they should just leave their name, the date of the event, where it's at, and then I can send them a quote and a contract. So, yeah, that's about how. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Christine, for joining me on the podcast and sharing your business with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com. That's fxbgneighborspodcast.com or call 540-534-4618.